Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to quarterfinal number 1 of the OIA Championship between Farrington and Kahuku. We picked this one up at the opening kickoff. Jerome Crisostomo will take the opening kickoff up to the 24-yard line before he is slammed down there. I'm Kevin Hashiro, along with Al Morikami in the OIA quarterfinal playoff number 1 between, again, Farrington and Kahuku. Al Morikami tonight. Very interesting battle between a pair of OIA foes that go back a long time.
And indeed, this is going to be rather interesting, as we know, with Matt Bell of Farrington. And certainly he carries the load running-wise for the Governors. And on the other side of it, of course, you have Kahuku and their stable of running backs. Who will come out on top? We'll just have to wait and see.
Farrington quarterbacked by Royce Machado. And Machado will give to the OIA's leading rusher, Matt Bell, at the line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle and falls forward to the 25-yard line. Matt Bell comes into this game leading the OIA in virtually every rushing category and carries, yards gained with 676 and touchdowns with 10.
And right away, Farrington making the Bell toil as the case may be, as you see here coming out of the I formation. Young man with very good vision here. You see how he gets up inside that defense.
Machado with a play-action fake and tries to dump it off to the receiver to the far side to Chris Feagai Ma'ali'i. And it's incomplete, thrown slightly behind his intended target. It'll now bring up 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Royce Machado, 3rd in the OIA in passing as the Governors in a hurry-up 2-minute style offense. Shovel pass to Bell, but read well by the Red Raiders as Bell can only pick up less than half a yard on the play. And so Kahuku's defense holds on the first possession of the game.
Yep, and you can see obviously what Farrington's game plan is going to be in this. Bell right, Bell left, Bell up the middle, and Bell everywhere else that they can ring it.
The versatile Matt Bell standing back at his 17 to kick it away as Spencer Hafoka waits at his own 32-yard line. A high, spiraling kick by Bell. Hafoka will let it bounce, and it's picked up by his teammate in the backfield, Kyle Giuliano. Giuliano picked it up, started to run with it, and initially Hafoka had signaled a fair catch. So I imagine this penalty will be against Kahuku for a false return of a fair catch.
Probably an illegal procedure situation. Once you signal fair catch, that's it. You have to let the ball just rest where it bounces.
Our lead official for tonight's OIA quarterfinal number 1 is Mel Cartero as they continue to discuss this penalty, but it will be Kahuku football. It's just a matter of how long and of the penalty.
I got a dead ball penalty, delay a game on a receiving team, 5 yards, 1st down.
Of course, delay of game. There is Shiwaki Levi, head coach of the 2-time defending state champion Red Raiders, seeking the trifecta, the three-peat this year, but it's going to be a tough row to hoe.
Yep, the Red Raiders this season having all kinds of offensive woes that caught up with them when they went up against Roosevelt and the Donald Duck offense of the Rough Riders.
So 1st and 10 for the Kahuku Red Raiders as Bronson Ponciano Ahue will be the quarterback, and the handoff into the backfield is to the tailback in the eye, Manu Gatikaura. Gatikaura with a short gain of about 2 before he is brought down to the turf by Soge Pua'ali'i.
Check it out again here, courtesy First Hawaiian Bank. Red Raiders this season been using as many as 11 different running backs out of their stable of runners.
It's a little bit of trickeration as Ponciano Ahue was the quarterback, and he remains in. They give now, once again, I believe that is in Gatikaura. No, check that. It's Joseph Lefau with the carry, where he is brought down by Tino Uli. And you mentioned, Al, Kahuku known to use as many as 11 running backs in a game, and the second carry, and that's their second back that they've used. Verizon
Hawaii replay, you can see here. One of the problems, though, when you go to a deep backfield like Kahuku does, is that a lot of times you don't get the execution, you don't get the familiarity, so a lot of times you come in cold.
3rd and 4, and Gatikaura with the give, but he is met head on by the middle linebacker close to the first down stick. is going to take a measurement, but that was a pretty good lick put on there by the linebacker, Paulo Fegai. And it's going to be close, but the official said, no, not close, not quite close enough for us to measure. It's a first down.
And here we take another look at it here, courtesy of our friends from Oceanic Cable providing us with a look.
Josiah Milo was also there. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. They tried to run the option. The ball is loose. Ball is loose and recovered by the Governors. Paulo Feagai with the recovery after the handoff on the option was botched. And so Farrington trying to see if they can capitalize on the first mistake of the game.
Check it out again here, courtesy of our friends at Oceanic on the replay. One of the things, like I said, when you have so many running backs, it's hard to get that consistency. It's hard to know where to run, what the blocking schemes are, to look at the defense and know which way you should cut and so forth. When you don't have that consistency back there, you can have all kinds of problems.
So 1st and 10 for the Governors at the Red Raider 36-yard line. In motion, that's Albert Faumui. Play action as Machado being chased, gets away from the pressure, has a receiver open, and it is caught down to the 20, down to the 16-yard line. Great look there by Bell as he flipped it out to Feagai Ma'ali'i.
You know, during workouts here earlier at the stadium, you know, Machado and company were working on this during their practice. Check it again here, the play by Verizon Hawaii. You can see they were working on exactly this kind of play, expecting this kind of defense from Kahuku. And Machado, just excellent vision, just staying with it, and just too bad the young man not able to stay in bounds and get a few more yards.
Lee Ka'anana nearly had a sack, and on 1st and 10, Matt Bell carrying over to the 15-yard line. Well, it's much closer to the 16-yard line as they try to reestablish Matt Bell and that rushing attack.
Now, by the same token, of course, Farrington Governors, their rushing attack all season long has been this young man with great vision, able to see things very well, and you have the consistency up inside there. The only thing, of course, if you're the head coach for Farrington, you're going to be concerned about, you know, hopefully this young man does not incur an injury because you probably don't have much depth behind him. 2nd down and 8, and again, they'll line up split backs behind Machado, the quarterback. Machado back to pass, all kinds of time, going for the end zone, has a receiver, caught, touchdown, Farrington. And that's what a Matt Bell will do for you. He'll make those safeties freeze as well as the linebackers, and then just some of your receivers and your tight ends and the rest of your pass receiving corps can sneak out there into that secondary, find a soft spot, and just basically grab the ball and score as Farrington did in that situation. Good job by Machado, able to maneuver himself around, get himself on that corner, change up the angle, and be able to open up seams in that defense of Kahuku.
Chris Feagai Ma'ali'i with the touchdown reception as Farrington strikes first. Smith Lafayette, the offensive lineman, tacks on the extra point. And a very interesting start to this game, Al. With 8:06 remaining here in the first quarter, Farrington strikes first on the touchdown pass from Machado to Feagai Ma'ali'i.
You're going to remember that first offensive series, Kevin, we saw Bell, left Bell, right Bell on the shuttle pass. And you can see what they basically did on this one was they used Bell primarily, as we'll see on the Royal Adventure Travel replay. They used him as a decoy here. And you see the lineman not so eager to charge right away, and just good blocking by that Farrington front line, buying time from Machado. They have to respect the running of Bell back there. And, of course, that allows them to find all kinds of openings in that defense for Kahuku.
And you mentioned the protection. Machado was just standing back there trying to look for the lane. And then the breakdown in the secondary by Kahuku allowing Feagai Ma'ali'i to get open down deep.
You know, anytime you give a quarterback more than 3, 4, 5 seconds, with apologies to June Jones and his 3-second passing offense, anytime I think most offensive coordinators can tell you if you give a quarterback anywhere from up to like 5 or even 6 seconds, they can pick you apart back there if they have no pressure at all. Kenny Stabler of the Oakland Raiders in the professional level for years was able to basically sit back and enjoy a plate lunch behind that offensive line of his. And he picked people apart. Same thing with Joe Montana and company.
This is the second meeting between these two clubs, Farrington and Kahuku. These two teams met earlier in October. Kahuku coming away with a 35-7 win. So Kahuku trying to see if they can have some redemption here at Aloha Stadium. And so far, Red Raider, or rather the Governors, capitalizing on that turnover, resulting in Chris Feagai Ma'ali'i with that touchdown reception. There is the young man Chris with the touchdown catch. So we'll see if Farrington can sustain this kind of momentum.
You know, I have to say, Randall Okimoto, in spite of the struggles they had during the regular season, just kept at it.
Matt Bell with the high, deep kickoff. Spencer Hofoka chases it back to his 1. His momentum carries him into the end zone. But again, the rule in high school, once the ball breaks the plane of the goal line, whether you run in or not, that is an automatic touchback on a kick. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Kahuku Red Raiders. Ball at their own 20-yard line.
Hofoka, one of these utilitist type of players for Kahuku, reminiscent of Orlando Wong of earlier years. Wong, as you remember, able to play defensive back, quarterback, wide receiver, halfback. Probably even helped collect the jerseys and wash them after the games. So
Bronson Ponciana Ahui, the 6-foot sophomore, trots back out in the field under center. Vika Carvalho is the normal starter. The give is to Karagati, and he carries up the middle, or off right side rather, for a gain of 3.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Okimoto, in watching Kahuku versus Long Beach Poly, saw some things, and we're going to see some here, courtesy Royal Adventure Travel. You know, you notice right there the linebacker staying home and just basically just zooming in on that ball carrier and just able to work his way through those offensive linemen and make the tackle. I'm quite sure they probably picked it up from watching the Long Beach Poly game.
Joseph Lefau is the deep back, and they'll give it to Lefau, who fumbles the football. It's loose again, and it's recovered by the Governors. Holy smokes! What is happening here as Jeffrey Achingnonga recovers the fumble?
It's what happens, as I said, Kevin, when you constantly rotate running backs back there. You have different running backs who have different styles, who have different ways of how you have to get the ball to them. Usually this is the fault of the quarterback, as you see, courtesy of Mountain Dew. You see how he takes a much wider approach to the ball on that one, and the quarterback not able to get the ball completely tucked inside there, and he doesn't tuck it away right away, and the result is, of course, a fumble and a Farrington recovery.
And you saw Lefau stumble actually coming out of the stance, resulting perhaps in the juggling and the botched handoff attempt. So 1st and 10 for the Governors, trying to strike again. Going to the end zone is Machado. It is caught, touchdown! Deontay Nomo-Aea gives Farrington a 13-point lead on the first play after the turnover.
And this is exactly the kind of thing that offensive coordinators say you do immediately after a turnover. Why? The defense comes on the field. They are not set. They are not really prepared to come out there. There is usually time after a kickoff before your defense takes the field to be able to set up, remind them of certain things. In this short yardage situations, you don't have that luxury. Your defense has to get onto that field right away, and a lot of times they're not set. They're not prepared for what's coming.
Smith Lafaele adds the PAT. 7:19 remaining here in the first quarter. And surprise, surprise, here on this Halloween night, Farrington leads the 2-time defending champions 14-0.
Dare we say it, trick or treat, and so far it's been all treat for the Governors so far. But what they have to be careful of here, Kevin, is with this early big lead of 14 points, they cannot afford to lose their concentration on either side of the ball. Let's watch the touchdown again, courtesy Mountain Dew. Again, there's one of the running backs back there. Bell, of course, they clear out to use him as a decoy to open things up. But again, Kahuku's defense not set, not knowing what to expect, and an excellent job by the receiver there to get the separation and be able to get his hands on the ball and coming down in the end zone for the score.
Rookie head coach Randall Okimoto, in his first year at Farrington, did quite a job turning this program around. This was a Farrington program, a once upon a time proud Farrington Governor football team, which had a lot of tradition, struggled last year, but in his first year takes them to a 3-4 conference mark, and here in the playoffs, coming off the win last week against Lelehua and a pretty convincing 41-8 win, and now a 14-0 lead over the Governors. On the other side of the field, Al, you got to be asking, if you're the Kahuku Red Raiders, what do we have to do to get the ship righted?
get some consistency in your running attack. You have some big boys who can open some big holes up front, but you need to trust in a certain number of running backs. When you use as many as 11 players, Kevin, you don't get the consistency. As we saw, what can happen is players come out of the block on the wrong step. They may go a further angle further away than the quarterback is used to because he has to get the ball and stick it into the runner's belly. It's not the runner's job really to clamp onto that ball until he feels it stuck in there. So if you're going off on the wrong angles and so forth, you get what we see, turnovers.
Spencer Hafoka from inside his 20 trying to break tackles and is finally brought down at the 21-yard line. And the Kahuku Red Raiders, whose first 2 possessions of this first quarter have ended in turnovers thus far, trying to see if they can get those problems solved right here on this drive.
And we'll take another look at the kickoff courtesy All Sport. And you can see one of the interesting things they're doing also is they're trying to bottle up Hafoka because this young man can break it and he can be a momentum turner. He has the talent and the athletic ability certainly to turn a game like this around. The one thing Farrington, like I said, cannot afford to do in this game is lose their concentration. They need to keep it from start off to finish.
Penalty markers fly, as apparently there was some kind of movement at the line of scrimmage. You got to wonder, Al.
Coachman, on the offense, 5 yards penalty, still first down.
Kahuku continues to shoot itself in the foot, lining up offside there, which will cost him 5 yards. You got to wonder, if you're Shiwaki Levi, why are you starting young sophomore quarterback Bronson Ponciano Ahue instead of Vika Carvalho?
It could be the young man may have missed some practices.
So 1st and 15, the game is to Nguri Gadikara, and he gets slammed after a pickup of about 3, maybe 4 on the play. In fact, Gadikara, who is second on the team in rushing, gets the start tonight over regular starting running back Pael Vaimoui, who is the team's leading rusher.
And by the same token, if you're Kahuku, you may have come in here. As we'll see, courtesy Manahuni Water Company, your basic offense is to run the ball. So who your quarterback is of not much concern, actually, because it basically comes down to your running backs establishing the situation.
A long pass by the sophomore, and he completes it out to Spencer Hafoka. A long gain all the way down to the 32-yard line of Farrington, and Kahuku in business. Instead of going back to the run, they cross the Governor's secondary up with the long pass.
As I said earlier, Kevin, this young man, Hafoka, is the kind of, like I said, game breaker, momentum turner that can turn things around quickly for a team like Kahuku. And Farrington right now cannot afford to panic or fall back on their heels.
A gain of 38 yards on the pass play. Gadikara stumbles as he had a lane open on the right tackle. So simply fell down, which cost him maybe another Kahuku first down. Instead, it only goes for a gain of 1.
And again, Kevin, like I said, when you have inexperience, as we'll see here, courtesy Manahuni Water Company, when you have inexperience in your offensive backfield, you see right here, nice block, there's a hole, the young man cuts the wrong way and slips and falls on a rather slippery turf that is moist in spots here because we've had some passing showers from time to time today.
And for the first time, we'll see Pael Vaimoui line up as tailback. Notice the fullback is Hans Fonoy Moana. Vaimoui gets the play action, and it is caught. The pass is by the tight end, and making his way down inside the 10 to the 5, Sahavili Latu. Great play action fake by Ponciano Ahue, even faked out the camera guys. And that picks up another first down for the Red Raiders, all the way down to the 5.
And that may indeed be why that they've been doing this. Watch the Jeffrey Lube replay. Oh, excellent fake right there. You see into the line. Farrington collapses on it. Oh, and the drop, but the young man with the concentration to hold on and takes this downfield and just basically struggling his way toward the end zone.
So 1st and goal from the 5. Here's Vaimoui with a lane hit at the goal line. Falls forward. Touchdown, Kahuku.
As I said, if you're Farrington, you cannot lose your concentration, cannot lose your poise. You cannot think, hey, we're up 14-0 because Kahuku can come back on you like that. They don't. It's not that they don't have the talent or the ability. They do.
Vaimoui ran right over Jerome Crisostomo to pick up the 5-yard touchdown run. 14-6 is now the score, looking to make it 14-7 here by Malo Keyama's extra point, and it is good. 5:17 remaining here in the first quarter, and Kahuku storms right back, spotting the Govs a 14-0 lead. It's now 14-7.
Now the real test is how poised can the Governors be to put together a serious drive and take some time off the clock and get a score. Jiffy Lube replay of the touchdown. You see the mass blocking, and it's just a matter of just running to daylight, as they say, and he just finds it there. Runs right through the defender for the touchdown.
Should mention that's Eti Antonio he ran over, not Crisostomo. So Eti Antonio, a 6 foot, 200-pound sophomore, went head-to-head, or almost went head-to-head with the 5'9", 170-pound Vaimahui. Even the little ones enjoying a spectacular Thursday night football affair. Of course, it is the playoffs.
He has his game face on, too. Look at that.
Although Mom doesn't quite have the game face on.
No, she's just enjoying the action. But there's a man who has the game face on at the moment.
Head coach of the two-time defending state champion, Kahuku Red Raiders, had a little bit of a stumbling block mid-season as they were involved in that big high school doubleheader against Long Beach Poly, a 42-16 loss, and then just a week later, the stunning upset at the hands of Roosevelt, 23-13. But since then, no problem for Kahuku rolling over their opponents. Beat Farrington earlier, struggled somewhat against Castle, and then staved off Kailua, the regular season finale, 12-7, a game that they almost lost on a Hail Mary pass in the final play of the game. A lot of questions about Kahuku mid-season, but I guess, Al, those questions have been answered somewhat.
Now the test here, as I said, for Farrington is going to be one of character.
Matt Bell and Jerome Crisostomo back deep, but it's going to be a high, short kickoff. Goes to the sideline. It's going to stay in bounds. It's recovered. Ball bouncing around into the end zone, and it will go out of bounds. I'll say this. Jerome Crisostomo got absolutely lucky as that ball started to head down the sideline. He thought that ball was going to take a bounce to the right side, head out of bounds. Instead, that ball kept bouncing straight down the line.
Prolated steroids, as we'll see, courtesy of Dietrich Insurance, can take some very strange bounces. And right here was almost a trick-or-treat situation for Kahuku, and they almost came up with the treat.
Keola Silva nearly had possession, Kahuku inside the 10. So instead, Farrington breathing a sigh of relief, knowing they got away with one there. 1st and 10 for the Govs at their own 20-yard line. Matt Bell is the deep back, and that's Royce Machado, the quarterback. The give is to Bell. Bell trying to nitpick his way at the line of scrimmage. Instead, he gets met by Ngati Kara. So Ngati Kara playing a little both ways, it looks like, from our vantage point here at Aloha Stadium. Check that. It is not Ngati Kara. It's one of the linebackers making the stop.
Tanioka Seafood and Catering. Let's see it again. Bell, you can see, with really no place to go. Basically, Kahuku just ganging up on the line of scrimmage. It'd be interesting to see whether they have like a sweep or some kind of pull type of action Farrington does for the running attack.
That might have been Sione Oliva with the stop. Swing pass out to Deontay Nomo'aea. Nomo'aea across the 35 will have the first down for the Governors at the 34-yard line.
You know, how good is it to have a quarterback like that who can ably handle the football and able to get it out confidently to his receivers. Watch it again here, courtesy Midas. And just good offense here, and just picking up and just being able to run to daylight and get away from that defense.
So 1st and 10 for Farrington. They'll officially spot the ball at the 35-yard line. Split backs and now switching into an offset I formation set. Give this to Bell, trying to work around the outside. Gets some blocking up ahead, falls forward to the 40-yard line. Excellent cutback move there by Matt Bell, the running back. Instead of picking up 2, he got 5.
More important, the vision he showed on it. So many other runners that you see in high school would have overrun this. Watch it again, courtesy Price Busters. You see Bell starts up on the inside, cuts it to the outside. Suddenly sees, hey, there, I got a hole right here, cuts it back up and inside. So many other runners in high school that we've seen, Kevin, would have just overrun that play.
2 weeks ago when we saw Farrington play, in fact, last week when we saw Farrington play Leilehua, I mentioned that Matt Bell looks very much like Terrell Davis. Swing pass to Bell. Bell sheds one tackler down the sideline. Will have the first down apparently at the 46-yard line. If they do mark it, where the official is, then it's going to be another Farrington first down, and they are going to give him the first.
And he very smartly takes what the defense can give him and then gets a little bit more of it. Again, thanks to that excellent vision of his. Watch it again here, courtesy No Foods. This time they set him up on the corner with a nice little pass. If you can't get enough blockers out there, then what you do is you just get him on a corner like this and just hope you can get some defensive mismatches. And there you see, he gets the first down.
Whistles blow. Still 12 seconds left on the play clock. So I wonder if there was some kind of an equipment problem. There's Mel Cartero, our official. Going back to Matt Bell. You talk about Matt Bell being perhaps one of the most complete running backs, not only leading the team in rushing, but also receiving as well. Bell on the carry, picks his way up to midfield before he's finally pushed back by David Elisa, as well as Ola Kubota.
You have to like how they used actually play action on that to open up things for Bell. Watch it here, courtesy Joy of Cola. Pepsi. Nice and smooth handoff there. And Bell just basically muscling his way up inside.
Farrington being very methodical on this drive so far, Al.
They need to be.
A lot of ball control, and a lot of the passes they have attempted, mainly swing passes and short outs instead of going for the home run ball. 2nd and 6, I formation set. Nomo Aea comes in motion to the near side. Machado, nice hesitation move. Gets out of the pocket, fires, almost picked off by Sam Spurrier. Spurrier hangs on, he's gone.
Well, I'll tell you what, this young man Machado, I swear, I would not want to face someone this good playing street football back there over on Hofdaling Street. Watch it again here, courtesy First Hawaiian Bank. Look at that. Makes the defender miss. And basically just out of frustration fires this when maybe he should have just kept it and tried to leg it out rather than trying to throw it in that situation. Lucky Spurrier, as you pointed out, did not hold on.
Lee Ka'anana, the second time he's been juked out of his shoes. Bell on the carry. He'll only get to the 49. He'll lose a yard. That's a great tackle in the backfield there by the linebacker Walker Vavai.
If Vavai doesn't make that, then it's Vavai Bell. Watch this again. First Hawaiian Bank replay. Little bit of a delay. No Kahuku's defender in the area except for Vavai, who comes in, makes the nice play. If he doesn't make that tackle, Bell is gone.
So Bell will stand back to kick it away. Here comes the rush. Off the side of Bell's foot. It will head out of bounds at near the 40-yard line. So very poor punt by Matt Bell of 10 yards. And the Kahuku Red Raiders will have excellent field position with 2:21 remaining here in the first quarter.
Coach Randall Okimoto not wanting to give Kahuku the big return and the momentum swinger and trying to give his defense as much green as possible between Kahuku and the end zone.
Siwaki Levi, of course, really has put Kahuku on the... Well, actually, it was the former Coach Doug Simonis who put Kahuku on the map. The give is to the up back, carrying it to the 48-yard line. Let's see who that is. And that's Sainaki. Sainaki, his first carry, 5'11", 210-pound junior.
You can see what the plan's going to be here, courtesy Verizon Hawaii. Give it to your big stable, your big bullbacks, and just take it into that Farrington defense and say, here, you try and stop us.
Kahuku continuing to go with sophomore quarterback Bronson Ponciano Ahue. Vika Carvalho, the regular starter, is on the sidelines in pads. Ponciano Ahue back to pass, overthrows the intended receiver as he tried to look for Spencer Hafoko down the middle. Instead, he just overthrew him.
Yeah, Carvalho more of the passer, whereas Ahue is a kind of a tweenie. He can do both. He throws a pretty good ball, but he's inexperienced as thought we were going to see there. But at the same time, knows how to get the ball fundamentally to his running backs, handles it very well, very smoothly. So good choice to have out there right now for the Raiders.
In fact, Spencer Hofoka began the season as the starting quarterback. The give is to Naki again, and Naki gets bottled up at the line of scrimmage. You can see on these option handoffs as Naki remains down on the turf, but you can see in the last two option handoffs, Al, doesn't look very smooth at all. Naki wants to keep it, but Ponciano Ahue wants to take it out and run that option around the ends.
Now, that can happen when you're a young sophomore quarterback, it takes a certain amount of experience on those middle options to know whether to hold or keep and know what to read and everything.
So with 1:25 remaining here in the first quarter, we'll take a short timeout for the injury. It's 14-7 Farrington. This is the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. Sainaki needing assistance by some of his teammates off of the field, and that could be a big loss, Al, because Sainaki, one of their more experienced carriers, but like you said, they got a lot of guys waiting in the wings. Hans Fanoi Moana, who wears jersey number 92, a defensive lineman, checks in, and that's Fanoi Moana with the football as a Farrington helmet roll for a while there. I thought that was the loose pigskin.
You and me both.
And instead, that was Soge Pua'ali'i who lost the hat. Boy, those maroon Farrington helmets look so much similar looking color to that football.
And they do indeed. Watch it again here, courtesy Royal Adventure Travel. But like I say, at this point, Kahuku just basically telling Farrington, hey, we're going to run our big boys at you. You try and stop us. And certainly there you see an example. Talk about determination. The hat comes off and he still gets in on the play.
Hey, that's Madden-like. So this should be 2nd and 10, although the chains say 1st and 10. We got a flag down, and trying to escape the tackle is Sione Fotu, who received the pitch. A flag is down at midfield in an area where one would suspect holding. Mel Cartero is our head official here in this OIA quarterfinal number 1.
You know, that time tailback looks like he was a little too deep on that one, and actually gave Farrington a little bit of defensive edge inside there. Usually, if you're good at sustaining your blocks, then having the tailback be 7-8 yards back behind the line of scrimmage is to your advantage. But if you're not able to sustain blocks and the defense can penetrate, then your tailback is going to find himself in all kinds of trouble.
I got holding on the offense, still first down.
So the holding penalty is accepted, so it's going to push the ball back. Now, Al, the markers still say first down, but I swear this is 2nd down and long. The scoreboard says first down. The down marker on the sideline says it's first down. This ought to be a 2nd and 22 situation, Al.
Because it was after the play. Or was it during the play?
Hit in the backfield is the running back, Paea Vaimaui. As he gets brought down to the turf. Loss of a yard perhaps on the play, and once again, that's Soge Pua'ali'i made the stop. Remember, it was Pua'ali'i who made that stop on first down, the play in which he lost his helmet. That was a first down play.
All sport body quencher replay. You can see here the little bit of hesitation, and you can see what I'm talking about here when I mention about sustaining blocks. If you cannot, then when you have your tailback lined up as deep as they have the Kahuku tailbacks lined up, you automatically come up with those kind of situations where you take losses in the backfield rather than making advances.
That is going to end the first quarter of action, and hello, Farrington, not Kahuku, the ones on top after 1 quarter of action, 14-7. We'll see if Kahuku can bounce back after this short break here on the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. We're back here at Aloha Stadium for quarterfinal number 1 of the OIA quarterfinals between Kahuku and Farrington. Our next matchup will be in just a a couple of hours from now, Campbell taking on Castle. And, you know, during the that short breakout, we were wondering, shouldn't that be a second down play? And shouldn't this be a third down play? Apparently, we had a little goof up here in the press box, because remember on that play when Puali'i lost his helmet, the Farrington defensive lineman, because that was a first down play. And then you had that second down play, and on that play you had that holding penalty. I don't know.
It was interesting. Some of you might remember that San Francisco-Denver game with the snowball a couple of years ago. They actually went through 5 downs and nobody noticed.
How about that infamous Colorado-Missouri game back in 1990, the infamous 5th down play? Ponciano Ahue to pass, throws that middle screen, completes it out, breaking tackles to midfield and into Farrington territory is Tali Tolutau. And Tolutau gets much of that needed yardage back on 2nd and long. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10. Well, pretty smart play there on 2nd and forever.
Yep. They needed something big. Watch your courtesy Menahuni Company replay. One of the things that is good to try and do once in a while is to come up with something just a little unorthodox after you've been doing some smash mouth ball, and that's exactly what Kahuku does here to change things up a bit.
So 3rd down and just over 10 yards to go. Ball at the 49. Play action. The pass is complete out to Tuifua. Tuifua at the 40 has the first down inside the 36 at the 36-yard line. So a play action pass by Ponciano Ahue flares it out to Tuifua, who rumbles for the first.
So you wear down a defense as you watch your courtesy Jiffy Lube, which is what Kahuku has done. Now they're coming back with play action pass and telling Farrington, okay, you know, you might have been able to slow our running game. Let's see if you can stop this. So suddenly you get Farrington caught up in thinking run defense, and then suddenly out of the play action pass, here comes Kahuku through the airwaves.
And all of a sudden, Ponciano Ahue, who struggled apparently in that first quarter, sort of settled down with 2 nice completions, 1st and 10. There's a botch play there, but Ponciano Ahue up the middle on a busted play, carries for 13 yards and another Kahuku first down.
And again, when you have a quarterback who's like I say, a tweener quarterback, someone who has a good enough arm to get your passing attack running and who has the wheels to be able to run you downfield. Watch it again, your courtesy Dietrich Insurance. This is the type of thing that they're probably looking for from Ahue. He turns around, busted play, but he has the good wheels and the good vision. Look how he keeps his head up, runs downfield, and just basically goes with whatever is there with the defense and picks up some good solid yardage.
Tuifua actually, the lead back and probably whom the ball was intended for, actually made a good block. Vaimaui up the middle. He gets stuffed by the white Farrington Governor shirts. Very little gain, maybe a pickup of 1 yard on the play, but that's a great convergence of Farrington defenders.
This is called staying home. Nobody overrunning the play. Everybody just picking up his assignment and just staying home and just getting up inside and getting after people, as they say.
Tino Uli there on the stop for the Farrington Governors. Officially a gain of a yard, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Ball is spotted just inside the 23-yard line. I formation set. Ahue back to pass, looking deep over the middle, has a receiver, and it is dropped. Tali Tolutau had 6 and just flat out missed it.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking, you know, this would be an excellent place if you're Kahuku to throw maybe a fade pattern or some kind of pass play to the end zone just to loosen up that Farrington defense, especially given the previous play. You can see he has the time and the protection. Nicely thrown ball here, and just poor concentration by the receiver thinking about making the score rather than just doing his job and catching the ball. That should be 6 for Kahuku.
2nd down or 3rd down. They're going to go back to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Spencer Hafoka. Well, they tried it once. They misconnected. Try it one more time. They go to another receiver, and it results in 6 to Spencer Hafoka. 23-yard reception for 6.
And what did I say about this young man? The momentum turner, the big play guy, the person that can bring you back when you're down 14 points. You know, the one thing, like I said, with Farrington is that they shouldn't celebrate too early. They shouldn't lose their concentration and think they're going to dominate the game, because Hafoka can bring you back in a hurry.
The extra point is up and good. And so 9:53 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The Kahuku Red Raiders showing the moxie in the fight of defending state champions come right back. And we are now tied at 14 apiece.
And you can see why, obviously, Carvalho on the sidelines and why Ahue is out there quarterbacking the Red Raiders. Tanioka Seafoods and Catering will show it to us again. Again, nice poise by the sophomore here, just going out there and executing the plays that the coach is calling. And right there, you see the result. To Spencer Hafoka, even with all that extra defensive coverage out there, still able to hold his concentration, grip the ball, and just hold on to it for the score.
Ironic thing about that drive by Kahuku, a lot of the yards they picked up through the air. And Kahuku not known to being a passing team. In fact, coming into this game, Al, Kahuku was dead last in the OIA Red East Conference, averaging just over 43 yards passing a game amongst all 7 teams in the Eastern Division.
Well, there are two sets of philosophies if you're an offensive coordinator. If you like to throw the football, you use the run to set up the pass. Otherwise, you use the pass to basically set up and balance your running attack, which is what Kahuku is very good at doing.
So we're tied at 14. Jerome Crisostomo and Matt Bell. Bell is to your right. You know they're lining. You can't see it on your screen, but they're lined directly in front of each other to confuse the Kahuku Raiders. A high pooch kick. Crisostomo approaching. Ball takes a high bounce. Can be recovered by Kahuku, but it goes out of bounds. Red Raiders, another wonderful opportunity to recover that pigskin. Remember, the first time that happened, they almost recovered it at the 5. They cannot capitalize again as that ball bounces out of bounds.
As we'll see here, courtesy Tanioka Seafood and Catering. This is just a lack of communication. There should be somebody somewhere for Farrington saying, hey, pooch kick. Hey, the ball's here, the ball's there, go get it. Somebody go get it.
Procedure on kicking team, the ball will be on the 35-yard line.
Keola Silva nearly recovered it, and as you heard Mel Cartero, because that ball was not touched, Farrington will actually even gain maybe 5 more yards as the penalty illegal procedure automatically puts the ball at the 35-yard line. So they get 5 additional yards because of the penalty.
Yeah, real lack of concentration by Farrington. This is something, like I said, that they had to be careful of.
That's the problem when you line up your returners in that stack formation. That's a problem. Give us to Bell. Bell trying to work around the left side. Falls forward to the 38-yard line before he is brought down there. A short pickup for Matt Bell. Bell coming into this game with 676 yards rushing, averaging 5.8 per carry.
They say he who hesitates is lost, as we'll see here on the Midas replay. No such problem for Bell. He just automatically makes up his mind where he's going to go, and he just takes it right up in there and gets the yardage.
Tawati Taulongo with the stop. Matt Bell, talk about a stat, 676 yards rushing. That's 259 more than the second leading rusher, or the second best rusher in the OIA. Meanwhile, Bell on the left side carries it near the first down stick. A penalty marker is down, however, near the line of scrimmage, and we could have holding on the Governors.
You have to like his maturity and poise, though, on that play. Saw the defender coming for him, still stood his ground, allowed the defender to actually blow by him, and then was able to make some extra yardage, whereas a lot of times other running backs might get a little flustered, and especially a much younger running back would get flustered in a situation and probably end up losing yardage on a play and running nilly-willy all over the place. Not the case for Bell there. Unfortunately, the holding penalty or the penalty.
I got a block in the back on the offense. It'll still be second down.
So second down and 12 situation coming up. We're talking about Matt Bell. 116 attempts, 676 yards coming into this game. And how dominant has he been? He's carried the ball 47 more times, 259 more yards than the number 2 back in the OIA East Red. Kamaka of Kailua is the second leading rusher in the OIA, so a very dominant back is Matt Bell. Empty backfield. Here comes the rush. Machado gets it off. Ball is deflected by Nomo Aea to himself, and he's finally dragged down near the 40-yard line. First of all, Royce Machado does a little bit of a disappearing act. I don't know how he got that ball off. And then Deontay Nomo Aea, I don't know how he came up with that catch as he bobbled it a couple of times.
Hoftailing street football, courtesy Price Busters. Watch it again. This is the kind of football you play when you're playing basically with your pals on the street. You basically reach out with the one hand, you wait till the guy tries to tag you, and you let it go and everything, and you just hope the guy, you can put it at such an angle that either the defense is not going to intercept it or that your guy's going to be able to grab it with one hand.
Royce Machado saw the play clock winding down to 0, so he calls a timeout. With 8:04 remaining here in the second quarter of action, we're tied at 14 between Kahuku and Farrington. You're watching the OIA playoffs here on the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. Back on this Halloween edition of Stadium Stars Sports as we see the Farrington cheerleaders. I'm Kevin Ashiro along with Count Chocula, Al Morikami. Al, I do have to admit that is a very spiffy outfit there in your
yes,
your
very frightening, isn't it?
Al, I love the costume, but the accent's got to go.
Yeah, it needs a little more coaching, doesn't it?
Needs a little
yeah,
work there.
I guess so.
Count Chocula. Al Morikami at his best, folks.
Come, enjoy.
And this is his normal life, guys.
Trick or treat.
3rd and 5 coming up. Here's the reverse to Bell. Bell with the lane down the sideline is close to the first down marker, and he's going to be awfully close to the first down mark as they tried to run that reverse around the end to Bell, but Bell just couldn't get it. In fact, he'll be yards shy of the first down. Tolutau or check that. Tui with the stop there. That's a great individual stop there by Tui, which forces a Farrington punt. Bell with the snap, high kick, end over end. Takes a bounce now to the side. Gets another good Farrington roll, an AstroTurf roll inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. And it's going to be down there with 7:41 remaining here in the first half. Tied at 14. So, Al, after a very explosive first maybe 15 minutes of football action, things have kind of slowed down to a crawl somewhat.
Yes, it has. But if you're Farrington, what you really want is you want to be able to control the tempo of the ball game, be able to possess the ball, because as long as you have it, that quick strike offense for Kahuku with their punishing running attack cannot obviously get it in the end zone.
Hans Fanoi Moana is the up back. Ponciano Ahue back to pass. Can't find anything. Now will step up in the pocket. Nearly tripped up. Is at the 10. Cuts back to the 15. Gets away from one man. Gets away from another. Down the 30. The 35. At the 40. And finally dragged down near the 41-yard line. And it was only Taeo Fangalele who prevented an 87-yard touchdown run. A potential touchdown run there by the young sophomore quarterback Bronson Ponciano Ahue.
Courtesy Price Busters. This is what we talk about when we talk about vision, when we talk about Bell and Machado for Farrington. Look at this by Ponciano of Kahuku with his black and white shoes. See how he keeps his head up, his vision up. He's always looking downfield. He sees the defender coming, knows that if he changes his angle, he's got a chance. And right here, just an excellent tackle by the Farrington defender to save the touchdown.
35-yard pickup. And the back is Tuifua. Tuifua into the secondary and finally spilt over at the 24-yard line. So now we're starting to see the Kahuku team that we are normally accustomed to seeing with big runs.
And certainly Tuifua establishing himself on the previous couple of plays, courtesy of No Foods. We watch it again. This is what I mean. As you get consistency, you get that mesh going. You get that situation with the blockers and everything. They know where they need to be, and the running back is able to develop more and more confidence in where he has to go as far as getting up behind that big offensive line of his and finding those holes and recognizing them when they do develop.
A correction on that last run. Paea Vaimoui with a 30-yard run all the way down to the 23-yard line. And a timeout taken by Farrington. A little shell-shocked right now as they spend the timeout defensively. They're down to one timeout with 7:02 remaining here in the first half. Red Raiders still have their full complement of 3 timeouts. So after a first half in which a completely shocked Kahuku team turned the ball over deep in their own territory on consecutive possessions. Governors jumped out to the 14-0 lead, but Red Raiders stormed right back and poised to take the lead as we take a look at some of our Halloween faces in the crowd.
Boil, boil, toil and trouble right now for the Farrington Governors on the football field. Somebody's shy.
You know, if you're going to paint your face, you know you run the risk of being put on TV. So why cover up, huh?
Yeah.
See, that guy's not shy.
Oh, there's the game face now.
It's the mask. Kind of looks like Vili the Warrior, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He needs to gain about 200 pounds. Ponciano Ahui with the keeper at the 20 to the 15-yard line. A gain of 9 on the play, close to a first down. A play similar to what we saw earlier. Instead of looking like a botched play, that was a planned run all along with that play action to the back, and then he just takes it up the middle.
You know, we were wondering, what is this guy doing out there? Why isn't the other guy, Carvalho, starting? Well, now we can see why. You can see how slick and how smooth his handoffs are and everything, and the way he's getting that offense moving. That's what the quarterback in this kind of an offense has to do. Do what is necessary to get the offense moving.
Vaimoi is the deep back here on the I formation set. Vaimoi with the carry to the 10, to the 5, and finally spilt over at the 5. Jerome Crisostomo with the touchdown-saving tackle. And Farrington, boy, they're in a world of hurt right now as all of a sudden the Kahuku Red Raider offensive line, that massive offensive line, beginning to open up some holes.
And the consistency, too. Watch it again here, courtesy Pepsi, the joy of cola. This is what I mean. Look how now that handoff becomes automatic, and you see how well that the quarterback for Kahuku carries out his fakes to make it easier for the running back to get up into that defense and start to really grind away at that Farrington defense.
For 65, James Takemoto with a great seal block. Vaimo'oi into the end zone on the carry. Touchdown Kahuku, and the Red Raiders have scored the last 20 points and have taken the lead for the first time tonight.
As I said earlier, you saw when they had some problems with rotating those running backs in and out of there. As we watch your courtesy Joy of Cola, now they've decided that they've got one young man who's out there establishing himself, running hard, getting the consistent yardage up inside there. They're staying with him, sticking with him, and what's the result? The score to get them ahead in the game.
A botched handle there. Carvalho is going to be brought down. So the score is going to remain a 6-point advantage for Kahuku at 20-14. So we'll see if this botched play, as Vika Carvalho, the normal starting quarterback and the regular holder, cannot hang on to that snap. So the score again remains 20-14 with 5:54 remaining here in the first half.
Actually, that's more the fault of his long snapper rather than the quarterback himself. That ball was already low down and away. I mean, that in itself would make it very hard to field and set up for the kicker. And they probably, even if he had got it set up, it probably would have thrown the kicker's rhythm off enough that more than likely it would have been blocked or just plain, just probably wouldn't have gotten up there at all. Watch the touchdown again, courtesy First Hawaiian Bank. Again, you can see this is what I mean when you have one running back inside there. When you make up your mind, you're going to be our horse. We're going to ride you on every running situation that comes up. You get the consistency, you get the confidence of the quarterback, and everything begins to become automatic. Suddenly, nobody is having to do any extra thinking out there. Everything starts happening automatic. Guys are getting up inside, and you're moving the football, and before you know it, you're in the end zone scoring points.
Middle of the screen, you can see number 92 there. You see number 92 on the lower left side of your screen. How do you like Hans Fonoi Moana to be your lead blocker? He stands 5'10", 250 pounds, but it's Paea Vaimo'oi, the recipient of the touchdown. But if you're Vaimo'oi, you would love to have number 92 as your lead blocker in the backfield. But once again, we're going to see Jerome Crisostomo and Matt Bell lined up in a stack-style returning core. And the last 2 times, the Governors have decided to do that. Kahuku has they pooch kicked it and nearly have come up with the ball twice.
With an offensive line the size of Kahuku, you could drive my Nissan Sentra up behind those guys and get through.
In fact, what Farrington is going to do is they're going to put the 9 other remaining linemen. You can see it on the left side of your screen. You can see the other 9 guys kind of settling back to the 40, and now they're going to kind of spread out. But you can sure bet that we may see another pooch kick coming up here.
Yeah, the last thing if you're Kahuku is you don't want Bell running back the other way from 90 yards on a touchdown.
David Elisa, short kick, will take a hop, but fielded on the run by Bell at the 20. Bell trying to look for the wedge up the middle. Can't find anything as he is buried at the 29-yard line. And the Farrington Governors, with 5:46 remaining here in the half, trying to see if they can stave off this Kahuku red wave momentum. After scoring the first 14, have now surrendered the last 20.
Watch it again here, courtesy Verizon Hawaii Replay. One of the things when you pooch kick and you have the kind of disastrous situation Farrington has had, everybody starts to get a little hesitant. So, of course, the wedge a little slow to come together, the blocking and everything, so Bell only gets a minimal amount of return on that.
Bell will now go in motion to the far side. Machado drops back, all kinds of time, looking over the middle. It is caught by Nomo Aea at the 37-yard line before he is ankle tackled by Ola Kubota, just shy of the first down marker.
Yep, if they're going to bring all kinds of pressure. But that time, Kahuku basically just dropping back, trying to take away anything deep from Farrington. So the Governors and Coach Okimoto very smartly, as you'll see here, courtesy Royal Adventure Travel. What do? They drag the receiver underneath that defense and says, okay, you're not going to give us anything long on top. We'll come underneath.
So second down and less than a yard. The lineup in I formation set. Matt Bell is the deep back. The fullback is Justin Wailai is the up back. They'll give it to Bell, no problem, as he plunges forward to the 40. Only a pickup of about 2 yards, but it is a yard long enough to get the first down. Ola Kubota once again defensively there for the Red Raiders.
Now, dare I say it, when Wailai carries the ball, does he try to find an avenue?
Now, is that young lady a fan of Kahuku or Farrington? She's got the red face paint, you know.
Well,
Can't make up her mind.
Farrington.
Can't make up her mind, maybe, huh?
Could be.
Maybe she's got a boyfriend playing for the Kahuku team. You never know.
Hey, you have a lot of split families on this island, Kevin.
First and 10. Machado play action, looking deep. Has a receiver down the field. It is caught at the 30, but the ball is dropped and it's picked off. It is picked off. That ball bounced right off the hands of Chris Feagai Ma'ali'i. Took a couple of pinball bounces right into the hands of Kyle Giuliano, who came up with a little Halloween surprise at the 28-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. And this is going to go down as an interception against the quarterback, too. There's some things that you see here, courtesy Mountain Dew, that I just think they have to find another terminology for this. Good catch here. Good defense to strip. And there you see the ball, like Kevin said, pinball time out there. Pachinko, as they call it in Japan.
Well, they're going to list it officially as a fumble. There, as you saw, that Feagai Ma'ali'i clearly had possession of the ball. Then Sam Spurrier came from behind, poked it away from the receiver, and Giuliano was Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, that's what they do to you in basketball a lot of times.
Pick your pocket there. First and 10, ball at the 28-yard line, and now we're going to have a false start called against Spencer Hafoka, the left side slot back, as he moved a little bit too early, and so this will be a 5-yard mark-off against the Red Raiders.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, still first down.
You know what can happen, too, when you're someone as talented as the Kahuku offensive unit is, you can feel sometimes that you've got so much talent that, so what if we incur an occasional 5-yard penalty, you know? We can overcome this easy. We'll just go get 10 yards in return the next play.
So first and 15. 4 minutes, 32 seconds remaining here in the first half of action. Kahuku, after spotting Farrington a 14-0 lead, has come back and has scored the last 20. The keeper by Ponciano Ahue breaks away from one guy but cannot get away from two more Farrington Governors.
He's a very strong young man. You saw how he stiff-armed on that play to keep his running attack alive in that situation, and be able to advance the ball upfield. Watch it again, courtesy All Sport, the body quencher. See how he comes out, very smoothly played handoff there, very slick, comes out around the corner. Now here comes the defender, boom! Big stiff arm, heads up field.
What a game that this young sophomore, Bronson Ponciano Ahue, is having, especially here in crunch time in the OIA playoffs. Vai Mo'ui comes out of the backfield in motion. They're going to swing it out to Hafoka to the far side. Hafoka gets away from one man at the 30 to the 35 and finally brought down out of bounds over the 40 to the 42-yard line. That is good enough for a Red Raider first down.
You know, all your winning teams, your title-winning teams and so forth, your defending champions, they always will have that big game breaker. Watch it again here, courtesy Menehune Water Company. Hafoka is that man. Very reminiscent of Orlando Wong. Look at the movement, the vision, and just the athletic ability and the overall speed and quickness to be able to bring this ball upfield.
So a timeout called by the Kahuku Red Raiders. Their first timeout. They've got 2 remaining. Farrington Governors still have 1 timeout left. The winner of this game, by the way, Al Morikami, will take on the winner of the Campbell Castle game that is coming up following after this one. Now you talk about a job that Siwaki Levi has done so far this year. A 2-time defending state champion. Everyone is gunning for you. You roll out as, oh, we got a Minnesota Vikings fan in the audience. 2 Minnesota Viking fans. One with the purple and with the Randy Moss jersey. Okay, you know it's Halloween when you start shaking it like that. Someone got to tell her that the...
Oh, don't you know? This is comic hula. It's an art form, Kevin.
She knows how to get down. I, on the other hand.
Oh, I'm quite sure you could with a little practice. She's just getting ready for Merry Monarch Festival, you know?
Either that or she's getting ready to go down to Waikiki a little bit later on. So we'll come out of the timeout. There you see the Farrington Governor defense trying to do whatever they can to stave off this Kahuku tsunami right now, which has surged over them. 20 straight points scored by the Red Raiders since the 5:17 mark of the first quarter.
Not the time for them to panic. This is still a very winnable game for them.
Ponciano Ahoy back to pass. Fires the pass over the middle. It is incomplete. Intended for Spencer Hafoka, but you know what? If you're the quarterback, Ponciano Ahoy, you put your wide receiver in some serious jeopardy as Tael Fangalele nearly took the head of Hafoka on if he wanted to.
More importantly, that could have also resulted in a counter punch the other way. As you saw, that pass was almost tipped and intercepted before it even got to Hafoka, who was really, as you pointed out, Kevin, hung out to dry on that play.
We'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Kahuku with an I formation set. They'll give it to Vai Mo'ui, or check that. That is Fotu around the left side. So Sione Fotu with the carry. He'll pick up 5 yards on the carry up to the 46-yard line before Sangapolu Tele Luavalu was there defensively.
Luavalu just did a good job coming around the corner, slipping the block. Watch it, your courtesy Menahune Water Company. So he comes to the outside, just follows, gets by the block, stays with it, runs the play down, and gets a little bit of help at the end.
So 3rd down and 6 coming up after officially a gain of 4 by Fotu. Ponciano under center will have flags before the play can get off, and I think we're going to have either illegal procedure or delay of game against Kahuku.
Prior to the snap, I got delay a game on the offense.
Defense for Farrington actually drawing a break on that one because they were coming with the kitchen sink and all.
Still
and
3rd down.
The way Kahuku had the blocking scheme set up, that had 6 points written all over it.
So you got to wonder if this will change the strategy for the Red Raiders. Instead of a 3rd and 6 now, it becomes 3rd and 11, probably an obvious passing down. But still, when you've got an athletic quarterback like Ponciano Ahoy back there, you got to wonder if maybe this could be your good old-fashioned quarterback draw.
And you've got Hafoka on top of that.
Hafoka fumbles the football. That's a lateral, and it's recovered by Farrington. I think they still are fighting for the football as Jay O'Call was there on another mistake by Kahuku. They haven't made mistakes since early on in the first quarter, but Hafoka simply could not handle that low lateral pass there from the quarterback, Bronson Ponciano Ahoy, and now with 2:33 left, Farrington in business.
You know, and if you're the Kahuku offensive coordinator, you could have remedied that rather easily. I mean, why come with a lateral in this? Not to question the coach necessarily, but I think most other coaches would simply tell you, as you see there, this being the lateral situation. But I think most other coaches, you set it up for your quarterback, go back 5 yards, and just throw a simple 3-yard forward pass in that situation out, because if it gets dropped, it's an incomplete pass. This time,
Got a sideline warning on Kahuku. That's the first warning. The next one will result in a penalty.
But this play ends up resulting in a turnover for Farrington in this situation, and we've seen how well Farrington can take turnovers and translate them into scores.
Sideline warning issued now to Farrington, and Siwaki Levi now looks like he's telling most of his players, guys, we're crowding the marker. Why don't you guys have a seat down there? 1st and 10, ball at the 33. Machado back, going to the end zone for a receiver, but he's going to overthrow, and it is almost picked off by Spurrier. Tried to slip it in to his big target, the 6-foot Deontay Nomo'aea, who has a touchdown reception tonight. But Spurrier, good job defensively, playing the ball all the way.
Well, they say you can't coach height, and that's what they tried to do here with the quick score. Watch it here, courtesy Dietrich Insurance. You see, it's a high floating pass. It takes a long time to come down, and the receiver almost comes down with it for the score.
Actually, Nomo'aea looked like he had to play a little bit defensive back there. That's a great job by Spurrier, the cornerback, giving 5 inches to Nomo'aea. 2nd down and 10. Single back. Bell lines up as a receiver to the far side. Machado. Here comes the rush. And he'll be dropped down in the backfield. Timote Tolutau with the quarterback sack of Machado. And the ball is pushed all the way back to the 38-yard line.
Good poise by Machado, though. You notice nothing there, doesn't try to force it, doesn't try to force the turnover, just tries to get whatever he can, but realizes now that he's in the grasp, as Tanioka's replay shows, and just basically says, okay, you know what, you got me, we'll try and get you on the next down.
Now under 2 minutes remaining, 3rd and 17. Offset I formation in the backfield. They'll simply give it to Bell. Nope, fake the draw play. Machado steps up, may want to run, but he'll only get near the original line of scrimmage before he is dropped by Lee Ka'anana. Lee Ka'anana, the defensive lineman, is probably saying to himself, I finally got to Machado, after he got burnt a couple of times by the Farrington quarterback earlier in this game.
Watch it here, courtesy Midas. You notice Machado this time, though, very smartly realizes, hey, he sees here's the pressure. Bell just nice little deflection block and steps up, realizes he has a hole in front of him and just runs up and just tries to get whatever he can on the play.
Timeout called by Kahuku, so they've got 1 timeout remaining. Both teams now with a timeout left. But a 4th down and about 12 yards coming up for Farrington. So an interesting call here. Obviously, if you're head coach Randall Okimoto, you're telling your offensive coordinator Elroy Chong, who, by the way, was an outstanding former University of Hawaii quarterback, you're obviously going for it here because it's too close to kick, too far away for a field goal. So you might as well go for it on 4th down.
When you look at the time remaining, too, you may as well go ahead and give it a try. You're down only 6 points. You can at least equalize the game, maybe even go ahead if you convert the extra point. So you look at the situation, basically. The smart thing that Machado has done is not force the ball. Don't try and make the big play all by yourself. Try and do what you can, get what the defense can give you, but let's hold on to this football because it gives us all 4 downs to use and maybe either get the first down or maybe even get the score on this.
And remember, they do have some dangerous receivers. They could always go to Bell on maybe like a simple slip screen out of the backfield because Bell they can line him as a slot receiver, but they've got Deontay Nomo'aea, who's 8th in the OIA red in receiving. Also, they have Alvin Fa'umui, also a pretty darn good receiver as well. So 4th and 12. They've got split backs, movement on the Kahuku line, and the Red Raiders are going to give 5 more yards to the Governors on the offside penalty.
Encroachment on the defense, still fought down.
Oh, Randall Okimoto going down into his deep bag of tricks from his University of Hawaii and his former Farrington playing days for that one.
And now Farrington's going to call a timeout because they realize, hey, 5 more yards. Maybe this changes up for us a little bit more.
You see what I mean, though, about being poised and understanding and everything and communication. You know, nobody on that Farrington line moves. They know what they're going to do. Everybody stays set, and they just leave it up to Machado to make the play for them in that situation. And again, you saw those 3 previous plays. Machado did not lose his cool. He kept his poise. There was nothing there. He didn't try to force anything that would have resulted in a turnover. Now they get an extra 5th crack at the end zone as this, and they're 5 yards closer.
Farrington Governor's sideline.
Should mention Elroy Chong, not only a former University of Hawaii great during the time when UH was making the transition out of Division I AA to Division 1A, but also was an outstanding quarterback at Iolani School under Eddie Hamada.
And you saw Elroy Chong there, the offensive coordinator for the Farrington Governors. Elroy Chong helping to bring a West Coast offense style for Randall Okimoto's group. So 4th down and 7. The line 3 wide receivers, Farrington will. Double wides to the far side. They'll have a lone setback in the backfield. That is Justin Wailai. Machado in trouble. Fires. Has a receiver on the sideline. It is caught. Yes, it's caught by Faumui. How did Faumui retain 1 foot in bounds to make a clutch first down catch, Al?
Faumui is a third-year senior, Kevin. He's been playing since his sophomore season. Watch it here, courtesy Price Busters. One of the things when you are a third-year senior, you develop a sense of where you are on the field, what you need to do to get the big play for your quarterback. Well-thrown football, manages to drag the foot going out of bounds. You don't see it there, but he managed to do that. You only need 1 foot in bounds, and as long as you're dragging one when you have control, it is a catch.
Kahuku fans don't like it, but they're booing because they didn't see the foot. But we couldn't see the foot either. So the replays are obviously inconclusive. 1st and 10 for the Govs. Going to the end zone is Machado. Nomo Aea almost makes a wonderful catch for the touchdown, but broken up nicely was Kyle Giuliano defensively.
And how important was that 5-yard penalty, plus those 3 down situations that they had where they couldn't get anything, and Machado very wisely held on to the football in all of those situations, just trying to advance it as much as he could. Now in this situation, they have a crack at the end zone. They take 1. They've got at least 3 more chances here.
2nd and 10, 1:22 remaining here in the first half of action. Machado will come under center. Bell will line up with split backs along with a Wailai. Double wides. Penalty markers fly. We're going to have movement at the line. Still 4 seconds remaining on the play clock.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. Still 2nd down.
Oh my, not the kind of place where you want to have this kind of disciplined breakdown.
So false start against Kahuku. And you said it, Al. Penalties playing a key role in this short Farrington possession right here.
You know, you want to be aggressive on defense, but you also want to play a disciplined game and not give your opponent any easy or cheap yardage situations, which is what Kahuku has done here.
2nd and 5. Machado feeling the heat, steps up, heading toward the sideline and runs out of bounds and trips over the chain inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. He'll be shy of the marker by about a yard, so it'll bring up 3rd down, but 1:15 clock is stopped. Remember, Governors have no timeouts remaining here in the half.
Courtesy Price Busters. This is what I mean by poise. Watch Machado. He could have so easily, he had Bell in the area with some coverage, could have actually just frustratedly thrown this. There's Bell right there, could have thrown that one up for grabs. Instead holds on to it, gets what he can to set up to give the Governors 1 more shot at the end zone.
3rd and a yard. They'll line up split backs. That's Bell on the left side. They'll give it to Bell. Bell with a hole. Cuts back to the 5, but has the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Governors with 69 seconds left to play here in the first half. Machado will quickly line them up to spike the football, although when you're lined up this deep in the territory, you can take as many time as you want. You don't want to leave too much time on the clock if you score.
Not with someone like Hafoka for Kahuku, you don't.
And Machado just spikes the football. Boy, Al, you know what? With minute 9 seconds left, that's a lot of time. You don't necessarily have to waste the down there. You could simply call the play at the line of scrimmage, maybe make a play, maybe throw a lob pass into the end zone. But basically, Farrington wastes a play there.
They do. They may not have, though. They may have, something may have happened on the sidelines. They may have not been able. This is Bell picking up the 1st down here. Again, the good vision to just slide his way up and just find something in the hole and put his team into a good position here.
Faumui will line up split to the near side. Nomo Aea, the slot back. Machado looking for Nomo Aea. Can't find anybody. Looking, trying to buy some time. Here comes the rush, and he is sacked. Walker Vavae with the sack on Royce Machado, and the clock continues to tick with 45 seconds left. The ball's all the way back at the 19.
You know, this is one situation where Machado's poise seemed to have left him. He could have just very easily thrown this out of the end zone. There would have been no grounding. He did have some people in the area that would have been able to make the catch.
3rd and goal. Machado slips, almost falls down, but retains his balance and is brought down at the 19. Remember, no more timeouts for Farrington. 18, 17, and again is Walker Vavae. Now a flag comes down, which will stop the clock.
Unsportsmanlike on the defense.
Oh my goodness, Walker Vavae called for unsportsmanlike. It'll stop the clock and also push the ball closer to the goal line.
Take a look at what happens here. Machado falls down. Vavai comes in to make the play. But watch what happens at the end when he pulls him down. Well, that was probably not Vavai. That was probably just a late hit by 77 once Vavai had him on the ground.
Quinn Ayu with the mistake.
On the defense,
And the clock stops.
down.
And so another opportunity for Farrington as they move the ball up half the distance, but it is 4th and goal from the 9. 14 seconds left. A triple receiver formation. Bell lines up as a slot to the far side. They want to run the middle screen, a crossing route to Bell. It is intercepted, no, broken up. They try to go to Matt Bell on the crossing route, but Machado just had too much air under it, and then the cornerback came over to knock it away.
Watch the No Foods of Hawaii replay. He actually had a man in front of the goal line, in front of Bell. We may see it toward the end here, but they try to go and hook up with Bell, their best player. There you see the receiver in the flat area, 80. I believe that's Faumui in the area that he had that he could have gone to, but opted to go to Bell, who was already in the end zone.
Tori Taulongo was the defensive back with the coverage. And so Farrington cannot capitalize on that fumbled lateral by Spencer Hafoka. And the Governors, who had the ball at the 30, come away with 0, with 2 seconds remaining here in the half.
Still, if you're Farrington, you got to feel pretty good about this. You managed to generate some turnovers. You put some points on the board. You proved to yourself you can move the ball through the air and somewhat on the ground against this very tough Kahuku defense. So, Kevin, if you're Farrington, even though you didn't get points, even though you weren't able to at least equalize the game and maybe even take the lead, you know you can move the ball, which means the points will come.
Al Morikami and I will be back here in the second half in this exciting first quarterfinal game of this OIA playoffs between Kahuku and Farrington. 20-14. Kahuku leads. Enjoy the half, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action. You're watching the OIA playoffs on the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports.
High School Red Raiders Marching Band.
Back for the second half of action in this OIA quarterfinal matchup between Farrington and Kahuku. Red Raiders, the two-time defending state champion, leading 20-14. And on the opening second half kickoff, a fair catch is called at about the 36-yard line by one of the upbacks. And that's David Elisa, the linebacker. And so we'll get things started here on the opening possession of the second half. Kevin Hashira returning. Now we bring in Lawson Kita. And Lawson, what a surprise we've seen so far in the first half. The Governors jumping out to a 14-0 lead via 2 turnovers. Then we see what we're accustomed, simple ball control by the Red Raiders.
The Red Raiders have been doing a good job coming back in this game as we see the first play of the half.
Vaika Carvalho has come in to take the first snap, and the give is to Paea Vaimo'ui, who gets up to the 40-yard line. So in the first half, we see the young sophomore Bronson Ponciano Ahui at quarterback. He plays the entire first half. And now in the second half, we see Vaika Carvalho in. So second down and 6. So you got to wonder what the situation with Vaika Carvalho and his status for the first half and why he sat out.
That's something we talked about. We're wondering why Carvalho, who's the better passing quarterback on this team, was out with the sophomore in.
Vaimo'ui with the carry. Bust through, has a first down, but a penalty marker thrown at the line of scrimmage in an area that would indicate holding against the offense. So this could wipe out a potential first-round run by Paea Vaimo'ui.
As I expected, Farrington really has a very balanced offense. If they could come out here and throw and run and get their offense moving against Kahuku, they'll keep this in a very good game because it's Kahuku's defense that has been keeping them in this OIA season.
Well, Farrington jumped out first as we recap the scoring 7-0 on Chris Feagai Ma'ali'i pass from Royce Machado, and then it was Deontay Nomo'aea with a pass from Machado, making it 14-0 Farrington, and then it was Vaimo'ui for Kahuku, followed by a Spencer Hofoka pass from Ponciano Ahui, and then Vaimo'ui's 4-yard run capped a 20-0 Kahuku run to make our current score where it is at 20-14. Vaimo'ui is met at the line of scrimmage by Songe Pua'ali'i, and nowhere to go was the running back Paea Vaimo'ui. Good penetration there by Songe Pua'ali'i.
And we'll see it here in the first Hawaiian Bank replay. Pua'ali'i really clogs up that middle right there as you see him go right by the tackle and does a good job of penetrating through the line.
So a loss of a couple makes it 3rd and 14. Carvalho backs, looking to the left, throwing out for Hafoka down the sideline, but it's incomplete. Threw it too long, intended for Carvalho, and Taia Fangalele was there in coverage, so it'll now bring up 4th down and 14. So the Farrington Governor defense doing something it hadn't done since the first quarter. It holds and forces a Kahuku punt.
This is something we haven't seen all season in terms of Kahuku, as they're out to a 20-14 lead. We haven't seen their offense move a whole lot during the season.
Brent out back to kick it away. Nice high end-over-end kick. Matt Bell at his 31. Takes it to the far sideline, and he'll be holed up. That's a good job there by Kahuku's coverage team. Sam Spurrier there to force Matt Bell out of bounds.
We'll see here in the Verizon replay. Kahuku doing a good job on the kickoff coverage, just closing up any holes that Matt Bell has to run through and just forcing them toward the sidelines. As you see him there.
Matt Bell, the OIA Red West, or East rather, leading rusher, kind of being contained so far here after the first 2 quarters of play. So Farrington with its first possession at their own 29-yard line of the half. Bell in motion. They'll give it to Justin Wailai. Wailai bursts up the middle and his ankle tackled at the 38-yard line. And that might have been Walker Vavaia who finally made the stop on Justin Wailai.
We'll see here in the Royal Adventure Travel replay. The offensive line doing a good job of opening the hole for Wailai. You see a big hole right there on the left side that he goes to. But quickly, Kahuku comes in and closes the gap.
Gain of 7 for Wailai will bring up 2nd down and 3. Farrington will spread the formation. Double wides to the near side. Again, the give is to Wiley. Nitpicks his way, but breaking through. Almost gets out of an ankle tackle before he's finally brought down at the 42, but that's good enough for a Governor first down. So Matt Bell, who's a normal ball carrier, they line him up at wide, and Farrington kind of crosses him up with a handoff to Wiley.
And we'll see it here in the Mountain Dew replay. Lee Ka'anana does a very good job of shedding his blocker and coming over and tripping up the running back, as he was really manhandled on that play, but did a good job of stopping the ball carrier.
1st and 10 at the 43. Normal Aea now flip-flops in motion. Give is to Bell up the middle. Has a hole. Cutting back. Midfield. Has the first down. Breaks through at the 40 and is ankle tackled inside Kahuku territory at the 34-yard line. And it was Tui who prevented a touchdown-saving tackle.
What a beautiful run by Matt Bell. We'll get our second look courtesy of All Sport. You can see his vision. Once he hits this hole, he's kind of patient. He kind of waits and tries to get his seams here and slips away from one guy, gets away from another. And if it wasn't for Tui there making the stop, he would have gone for 6.
Gain of 23 yards for Matt Bell, by far his longest rush of the day. Royce Machado, the senior quarterback, 5'10", 150 pounds. He's going to have to be one of those leaders if Farrington is going to pull off the upset tonight. Short drop by Machado. Fires out to Nomo Aea at the 30, but Nomo Aea walled up by Sam Spurrier. And here comes the help from Waka Vaivaya to finish it up. But nonetheless, despite what looks like a very short gain on a pass, it's still good enough for 4 yards. It's almost good to be like a running play off tackle.
And when you have a big wide receiver like Nomaea, 6 feet, 170 pounds, he can really take those defensive backs and drag them a few yards to pick it up.
2nd and 4, ball spotted at the 30-yard line. Farrington on the move. But can they finish? Unlike what they did in the first half, where they could not finish a short drive after a turnover. Wiley with the give, nitpicking his way, falls forward to the 26-yard line. So all of a sudden now, Justin Wiley has become the go-to back instead of Matt Bell. Perhaps offensive coordinator Elroy Chong sensing that Matt Bell is being keyed. Hey, let's just give it to the fullback.
Wiley, even last week, they've used Wiley a lot, and we'll see it here on his run here. But I see Quinn Ayu come from the backside there and be able to tackle him before he got through the line. But Wiley doing a good job of being the ball carrier. Daryl
Moy almost had an ankle tackle of Wiley in the backfield. 3rd and 3 coming up after the short pickup. Play action by Machado, looking down low. Here comes the rush, but Machado gets away. Scrambling to the outside. He can run for the first down. Cuts back, 20. Cuts back to the 15, and finally brought down at the 14-yard line by Sione Olivao, but great presence of mind by Royce Machado. Couldn't find anything, tucked it under, made a couple of good cutbacks, and had the first down.
Royce Machado here on the Menahuni Water replay. He's a very patient runner, and he slips away from one tackler, and you'll see him as he heads upfield. He's just patient, looking for his holes, has good vision. Right there, makes a cutback, sees a seam right there between the Kahuku defenders, and able to pick up the first down.
Kahuku's Lee Ka'anana is going to have Royce Machado in his nightmares tonight, because that's the 3rd time that Machado has gotten away from him. 1st and 10. The give is to Bell up the middle, picking his way. Has yardage at the 10, inside the 10 to the 9-yard line before he is brought down there by Viliami Nawahi.
Again, you wonder if the way they're running comes from their head coach, Randall Okimoto. Both the quarterback and the running back do a good job of having vision as they're coming through the holes, as we'll see it on the Dietrich Insurance replay. And you see Bell just patient, looking for the holes, kind of weaving his way through, and able to just pick up the yards on that one.
Last week, we made the reference to Matt Bell as almost being Terrell Davis style. Doesn't have outstanding speed, but has very good vision and anticipates the hole before it opens. Wiley on the give. Wiley near the first down mark. In fact, he will have the first down by less than half a yard. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Governors at the 3-yard line.
You gotta like the way Okimoto's really switching things up. First a run by Bell, and then they give it to the big fullback to take it up the middle, as we're going to see the run by Josh Wiley. 5'6", 175-pound junior. He just bowls his way through that hole right there. able to push the defender a couple yards and pick up 3 more.
This is a great drive by Farrington, not only driving down the field, but eating up precious time off the clock, too. Already, we're at the 5.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Offset wishbone formation. They give it to Bell. Dives over to the 1. Got close to the goal line, but he's not going to make it. But that's a great job by Matt Bell, hurdling over blockers just to get extra yardage.
You gotta like it. You gotta see it here on the Tanioka's replay. Matt Bell could have just gone straight ahead on his feet, but instead he says, hey, what the heck? I'm gonna try and jump it, see how many yards I can get. And he gets down almost to the goal line. Could have had a touchdown.
Remember last week against Lelehua, he made a hurdling jump over a Lelehua defender and an offensive blocker for a touchdown. Farrington looking to tie the game. Again, offset wishbone. They give it to Bell. He gets in. Touchdown, Farrington, and we're tied at 20.
You gotta like it, man. They really opened up some big holes on that touchdown run. These 2 running backs really helped push the way through for Matt Bell. And what a ball game do we have right now. And we're going to see the touchdown replay here courtesy of Tanioka's. And we'll see Matt Bell come right through here as the running backs just plow up holes for him. Easy 6 for Matt Bell.
So Smith Lafayette trying to see if he can give the Governors a 1-point lead. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on its way, and it's right down the middle. Now a little extracurricular activity going on, but Smith Lafayette adds the PAT. 4:48 remaining here, third quarter, and the Governors reclaim the lead at 21-20.
This is the kind of football game I expected from the Governors. They do a good job on offense with Matt Bell, Royce Machado, and they've been able to move it against a very stubborn Kahuku defense, which is very surprising as we're going to get our second look at the touchdown, this time from the behind the quarterback. And you'll see just the hole right there, real easy. Matt Bell seeing the hole and just walking right on in.
What a block by the left guard, 69, Patrick Leamau. Leamau, 5'11", 350 pounds, stood up his lineman, which allowed the seam to open up, which easily got Matt Bell into the end zone. So the Governors retake the lead for the first time since the first quarter at 21-20, and that's got to put a smile on the face of not only the Farrington band, but their cheerleaders as well. So 4:48 remaining here in this first half, or rather in this third quarter, and a back and forth game. A game really lost of momentum, is going back and forth. We saw Farrington grab the momentum in the first quarter, and then Kahuku reestablishing that. But now it's Farrington who comes right back, forcing a Kahuku punt, then driving all the way down the field, just kind of picking his way. Justin Wiley, we don't talk about him a lot, but he was a key factor in that drive, although Matt Bell finished it off.
Well, yeah, Wiley is a good changeup. He's more of their power style compared to Matt Bell. He doesn't move and shake his bell. He just takes it right up.
Matt Bell with a high kickoff. Kyle Giuliano at his own 8-yard line looking for the wedge. Gets to the outside, 25, and finally bottled up at the 30-yard line before being chased down there by Tino Uli. So the Red Raiders will begin 1st and 10 from its own 31-yard line. And let's see if Vika Carvalho will come back out, and he will.
And we'll see the kickoff return again by Kahuku, doing a nice job of setting up that wedge right there, giving them a lane on that outside, and able to set up a good field position for the Kahuku Red Raiders.
Vaea Paumoui is back there. Gets the call up the middle, a good 7-yard pickup as the hole just opened up by that massive Farrington, or the massive Kahuku front. Paeo Vaimoui, the leading rusher, with the carry.
And we'll see it here on the No Foods replay. Vaimoui taking the handoff here, but Manu Asiu will make the stop on that play right there, stopping him for what could have been a very big gain.
Gain of 8. Ball sitting at the 38. Again, Paeo Vaimoui gets met, but surges forward. The second effort may have gotten him the first down, but that was a pretty good lead there. Paulo Feangai had the tackle, but Vaimoui with that leg surge pushes forward to pick up the first down.
And we get a good show of the Kahuku power running game here as Vaimui just takes it right up the middle, takes on the linebacker Feagai and just pushes him for extra yardage.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 42-yard line. Again, an I formation set. Carvalho drops the pass, looking down low. With time, fires, and this is going to be picked off at the 35. Intercepted by the defensive back, Taegao Fangalele. And it's the fourth Kahuku turnover tonight.
And as they say, you gotta make good of your opportunities that you're given by Kahuku, and we'll see it here on the First Hawaiian Bank replay. Their 4th turnover of the game, an interception coming to Fagalele on the interception for the Farrington Governors.
Tael Fangalele coming up with that big play. So Farrington in business with the ball and a 1-point lead. At their own 42-yard line, they'll split Matt Bell as a wideout to the near side. Play action by Machado, looking deep, can't find anything. Here comes the pressure. Flag is down, and so is Royce Machado.
Farrington really, it looks like a hold on the play, but Farrington could make a statement here against Kahuku after this turnover and pick up a score here, but we'll see what the call is, and I think it was a holding.
Well, the scramble by Royce Machado was all for naught, as the penalty will nullify a 6-yard scramble there by quarterback Royce Machado.
I got holding on the offense, still first down.
El Cartero, our lead official tonight, with the call on the holding, and that's not going to please first-year head coach Randall Okimoto. So the penalty will set the ball back all the way to the 30-yard line, making it 1st and 22. Farrington gives it to Bell. Bell hit at the line of scrimmage and then falls forward as Ola Kubota was there to make first contact, and then Kubota with enough strength in his upper body to bring down the 5'10 running back.
Ola Kubota doing a really good job, and we'll see him here on the Royal Adventure Travel replay, of just plugging that hole after the carry by Matt Bell, and you see him right there take on the gap and just close it out for Bell, not giving him any time to move his way through the line.
No gain on the last Matt Bell carry, so it'll bring up 2nd and 22 again. This time it's Justin Wiley. Wiley still on his feet, surges forward to the 37-yard line before he is brought down by Sione Olevao. A modest 7-yard pickup on the play. It'll set up now 3rd down and about 17.
And we see this run by Wiley. Wiley, again, is their power runner. He's not anybody that dances. He just takes it north to south. And here he'll just drag Olevao for a few more yards.
So a big 3rd down, and 15 is the official down and distance. Wiley, the lone setback. The lineup trips to the near side. Play action. Machado with the rollout. Looking, he's got a receiver. That's Bell open downfield. He misses it. He cannot hang on. Matt Bell had a 1st down and a lot more and just flat out dropped it.
This is surprising by Matt Bell. It was right on the money. He was wide open down the sidelines. And that could have been a breaker for Kahuku.
Matt Bell came into this game as the leading receiver for Farrington, and he flat out drops it.
And we'll see it here on the All-Sport replay. Machado does a good job of just getting that ball out there, and you see how wide open he is. Nothing but green out there. And you can see right at the end, he just takes his eyes off the ball.
Kyle Giuliano with the return and a beautiful one-on-one tackle made at the 30-yard line. That's a wonderful play there. I believe that was Mark Tejan, who might have made the stop. Well, we still can't get confirmation of the number. I think could be that guy right there, Paulo Feangai, made that one-on-one stop. But we'll see how that drop pass by Matt Bell, who apparently wanted to run before he caught that football. We'll see how that plays into his psyche a little bit later on here in this game. Got a $1:52 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Farrington 21, Kahuku 20, back to Aloha Stadium. This is the OIA playoffs on the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. Micah Carvalho back in at quarterback. They'll give it to Vaimaui, who has room and takes it all the way up to the 43-yard line before finally being brought down by Jerome Crisostomo. Also Eric Pedro there defensively for Farrington.
Instead of just looking upfield, he looked for a defender and just hit one. See what's going down at the end of that play.
Well, instead of looking to avoid tacklers, just simply look for one to hit himself. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Paeo Vaimaui is the deep back. He'll give it to Vaimaui again, cuts it to the left side, has some room before he is finally submarine down into Farrington territory at the 49-yard line. Jay Okal was there defensively for Farrington, but not before Vaimaui picked up a good 7 yards in the carry.
Seems like Siovaki Levi has finally found his running back here in the playoffs. Throughout the early part of it, we've seen almost 10 running backs going in and out for the Kahuku Red Raiders, but Vaimui was his one, and he'll go out of the game.
Looked like he came off that field a little bit gingerly. Tight formation by Farrington, and the right tackle leaves early. Cole Wilkins, the 6'2", 230-pound senior.
Prior to the snap, got false start on the offense, still 2nd down.
So instead of now 2nd and 3, it'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
We'll see the replay there of where the false start happened, and we'll see it on the left side there. So he just leaves his stance way too early.
So we'll see if this changes the play call on 2nd down and 8. And again, movement. Hans Fonoy Moana, who lined up as the H-back, got into the 3-point stance and then went forward.
Prior to the snap, the false start on the offense, still 2nd down.
All of a sudden now it's Kahuku making the mistakes.
Siovaki Levi cannot be happy with this. They already lost 10 yards on there. They could have had almost a 2nd and 3.
2nd and 13 now. Micah Carvalho under center. He'll quarterback sneak it straight up, but well read by the Governors. It'll be a modest gain of about 5 yards up to the 45-yard line, but it's still going to be about 8 yards shy of the 1st down marker.
Luavalo and Eric Pedro there on the stop for the Farrington Governors. And they weren't even fooled by this. They seen where the quarterback was going in that gap, and they closed it as fast as they could.
And that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Sweetie Picaro of the KSSK fame, dressed as Catwoman, I suppose, or Leopard Woman, on the sidelines for the Oceanic broadcast. And we want to say hello to our broadcast colleagues over in the Oceanic booth next door. So we move to the 4th quarter of action. It's Farrington 21, Kahuku 20. You're watching the OIA playoffs on the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports.
Yo, you think they got the message? I don't know. So let's tell them again. When you think about buying, leave them where they at. Little kids who want to try it, leave them where they at. 300 million people dying, leave them where they at. Tobacco company always lying, leave them where they at. Before your breath start to stink, leave them where they at. Before you buy them, you should think, leave them where they at.
The colors of the rainbow. Oh, it's hair. I thought we were looking at the rainbow.
All kinds of characters out here tonight for Halloween.
Butterfly, more butterflies. Hey, if you're the band director, you got to be yelling at them because they stop playing.
They're paying attention more to the camera.
Nervous time for Siwaki Levi as we enter the 4th and final quarter of play. And remember, the loser of this game will be eliminated from the state tournament contention. The give is to a backup running back, Kyle Giuliano. Giuliano normally a defensive back, but a flag comes flying right as the play began. Kyle Giuliano could only get it to the 49-yard line of Farrington, which would leave him 2 yards shy of the 1st down marker. But let's see what the flag is all about.
We've seen Siovaki Levi do this even in a game that we've seen here in Aloha Stadium. He just tries to throw out all his athletes, and Giuliano takes time in the backfield.
Disregard the flag. Got no penalty.
So no penalty. So it's now going to be rather a 4th down and 2 yards.
And we'll see the run by Giuliano. He's more of your outside guy now. So he uses his speed to get out there and try and pick up yards instead of going straight up the middle.
Vica Carvalho with a little bit of a hesitation, didn't know what was going on 4th and 2. This is a critical play coming up, Lawson. If you're Shiwaki Levi, you played only 12 seconds of the half, or rather of the 4th quarter. You got 4th and 2 at the Farrington 49-yard line. Decision time. You kick it away, play a little conservative despite being down by 1, or you say, what the heck, let's go for it. Because we are establishing ball control on the ground.
He's doing a good job on the ground. 4th and 2, you know. At a time like this, it might be a good idea to go for it. You can take away some momentum from Farrington. They got an interception on their last offensive drive. Farrington picked up the interception, couldn't do anything with it, and here comes Farrington controlling the ball.
You know, I keep saying this. You know, people paint their faces, they dress up. That's an obvious sign of they want to be noticed. Then why, you know, as soon as the Jumbotron camera comes right on them, they shy away. What's up with that?
Well, you know, painting your face and being in the stadium, you're only seen by maybe a few people, but on the Jumbotron, hey, you're seen by everybody.
Shiwaki Levi has made up his mind. 4th and 2 from the Governor 42. They're going to go for it. Kyle Giuliano is the deep back. Farrington has to be careful. Can't jump off sides, which would be an automatic 1st down. Carvalho with the quarterback sneak, walled up. Ball is loose. No, that's a helmet. But in the meantime, Carvalho comes forward to the 45, and he'll pick up the 1st down by a good 2 yards. We saw the Farrington helmet come out of that pile. Initially, we thought it was a football. And you know, it's the 2nd time that Songe Hua Ali'i has had his helmet come off trying to make a tackle. We saw that happen in the 1st quarter.
And here on the Dietrich Insurance replay, we'll just see power football by the Kahuku Red Raiders behind that big offensive line. They just keep shoving and pushing, and you can see his legs just keep going. They're able to pick it up by
following Big Jeremy Perry, the left guard. Giuliano with the give, and he'll be stuffed at the 41-yard line. A pickup of about 3 yards on the carry for Kyle Giuliano. Andrew Moy coming in to stuff Giuliano down. So kind of interesting to see that Kyle Giuliano getting some PT at running back.
And we see the Tanioka Foods replay. This is a straight run up the middle by Giuliano. And you'll see there Tino Uli coming from the backside and making a good tackle on Giuliano.
Paea Vaimaui checks back in as the tailback. Fanoi Moana is the upback. They'll give it to Vaiomui, and he is brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of a couple. That's a great job defensively there by Paulo Feangai. Defensively making that one-on-one stop.
Feangai here on the Midas replay. And again, just a straight give up the middle to Vaimui. He tried to bounce it out there, but Feangai was right there to stop him.
Vaimui had a lane, but that's a good job by Feangai there with the one-on-one stop. So now it'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Ball at the 39-yard line of the Governors. Vica Carvalho, who started the 2nd half after not playing in the 1st half. Kyle Giuliano checks back in, that's Vaimui once again. Vaimui around the right end, goes forward, has the 1st down for Kahuku before he's brought down by Tino Uli. So now we're starting to see the power of that Kahuku line and the strength of that running attack.
And this running attack is coming against 8 guys in the box for Farrington, and they're leaving. And we'll see the run right across the middle to Vaimui. Just takes it to the outside. And they are just milking this clock here on this drive.
Vaimui is going to come out, and Kyle Giuliano will come in at running back on this next snap. Kahuku will line James Hayola and Spencer Hafoka to the far side. Now that's Giuliano in motion. Carvalho going to the end zone. Has 2 receivers in the area. Incomplete. Tried to get it in to James Hayola. There were 2 Kahuku receivers down that left sideline. Only 1 Farrington defender. That ball thrown slightly wide of Hayola. Incomplete.
This is something Shiwaki Levi is seeing on these passes now. They're leaving their men one-on-one man coverage on the far side, as we see only 1 Farrington defender there, while there's 8 guys in the box just trying to stop the Kahuku running game.
Saw that play. Haiola simply ran out of room on the far sideline. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now Tali Tolutau comes in at wideout. Carvalho drops. Again, looking down the far sideline, going for Giuliano, but it's going to be thrown wide, out of bounds, incomplete. So it'll bring 3rd down and 10 despite some contact down that sideline. Jerome Crisostomo there defensively for the Governors.
Farrington doing a good job of shifting their coverage, showing that 8-man in the box formation and then being able to pull some guys out for pass defense.
All of a sudden, you're to open up this series, you're successful with the rushing attack, but then on the last 2 series, you go deep for the end zone. And that's kind of cost you a little bit because now it's 3rd and 10. They went away from their bread and butter. Nguri Kaura there in motion. Back to passes Carvalho. Fires out. It is caught by the tight end who will get close to the 1st down marker as that pass was caught by Sahavili Latu, the tight end, and needed 10. Picked up 13. That's a 1st down for Kahuku.
We'll see this nice pass play out to the tight ends. Latu. Carvalho doing a good job. Nice zip on the ball right there. A little bit high to Latu, but he did a good job of getting his hands up there and bringing the ball in.
So the drive remains alive for the Red Raiders, trailing by a point, 21-20, to the heavily underdog Governors. Nguri Kaura with the give up the middle. A flag is also down. So is Nguri Kaura, as Uli was there defensively to make the stop, but it looks like this flag is going to be against the Red Raiders for holding, and it is. One thing has set Kahuku back: penalties and turnovers, the 2 things that will kill you in football games.
Penalties and turnovers can make a great team just look ordinary, as it really, really hampers.
I got holding on the offense, still 1st down.
Penalties and turnovers really hamper what they can do in their offense.
Remember, Kahuku, the 2-time defending state champion, if they don't win this game, they are eliminated from state tournament contention, and Farrington would be in. Remember, in the quarterfinals, the winners from here on in are going to advance to the state tournament. Carvalho, simple swing up pass to the outside receiver, Spencer Hafoka, but that's a great job by Jay O'Call defensively. I'll say this, if O'Call plays the football, there's a possibility he has a pick there.
Yeah, he read the play all the way, and he could have stepped right in front of the receiver and really closed out the passing lane there, as we see in the George Kohler replay. Carvalho takes a swing pass right out there, and you see it right there. He was right between the between the quarterback and the receiver, and as you said, he could have either knocked it down or even picked it off.
Sometimes it's better to not take the chance, go for the ball, and just make the sure tackle. Play action by Carvalho. He's going to throw it, and it's fired, and the receiver is knocked. That is going to be an incomplete pass, but Spencer Hafoka just got ripped by Jay O'Call, the defensive back, who separated Hafoka from the pigskin.
Check that. I think it might be Fagalele, as I see number 26 coming in. Not too sure.
You may be right, Lawson. Taiao Fangalele.
And we'll see it here on the First Hawaiian Bank replay. Yeah, I believe it is Fagalele, as he just put a lick on the receiver there, separating him from the ball.
So now it is 3rd and 22. This is a situation that Kahuku does not like to be in, especially on 3rd and long. Kyle Giuliano will now go in motion out of the backfield on 3rd and 22. Carvalho back. Here comes the rush. Steps up under the pocket, and now he'll be sacked. Josiah Milo there to bring down Vika Carvalho, and it'll now bring up 4th and long.
You talk about really stepping up and really clamping down on the offense, as we're going to see Farrington doing a good job here. Pressure coming from the backside. He'll flush out Carvalho, and he just tries to look for any kind of running room, but he won't get away from number 44 there, Josiah Milo, the defensive lineman.
4th and 21 coming up. Kahuku going to talk about it with 7:10 remaining here in this game. Kahuku trailing by a point, 21-20. And this is a big play coming up here on 4th down. So if you're Shiwaki Levi, what do you call here? Obviously, Farrington is going to expect you to go deep down the field, but if you're the defensive staff for Farrington, you got to tell your guys, watch for the screen pass, because Kahuku tonight has been very successful running screen passes on long yardage situations tonight.
With 7:10 left to go, though, I don't really see them as being in a real position to have to go for it here on 4th and long. Their defense has played very well all year long. If they punt it away and pin Farrington back deep here and turn it over to their defense, they still have a lot of time to come back with a 1-point deficit.
So you may want to go short here, like you said. Ball's at the 32-yard line. Red Raiders will line up trips to the near side. Paeo, Faimaui, the lone setback. You see Giuliano on the bottom right of your screen. They're going to throw the middle screen to Tali Tolotau, but he cannot hang on. Incomplete, and Farrington will take over at its own 32-yard line with 7:06 left.
I really do not like this play calling by Siovaki Levi to go for it on 4th and long. Their defense is what carried them to this OIA playoffs, as we're going to see here on the replay. It's a swing pass, as you said, to look out for. But defender right there, and it went right off his fingertips.
That ball might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, but still, even if Tolotau makes that catch, there's a wall of white awaiting him about 5 yards away. Matt Bell will go in motion. The give is to Justin Wailai straight up the middle, and he is met head-on by Sione Olevao, who makes a crunching stop. Short pickup of maybe 2 by Justin Wailai, but more importantly, the clock will tick. We are now at under 7 minutes left to play.
This is what Farrington is going to try and do from here on out. They're just going to try and grind this clock out with Wailai and Bell.
We saw Elroy Chong, former Iolani University of Hawaii great, the offensive coordinator for the Farrington Governors. 2nd and 8 coming up. And it's great to know that you've got a super running back like Matt Bell in the backfield. Bell is the tailback, and he is hit from behind, almost spins out of the tackle, but he cannot get out of the grasp of Quinn Ayu, who came in the backfield and brought down Matt Bell.
Quinn Ayu really got a lot of penetration on this one and was able to disrupt the plays. We're going to see it here on the Verizon replay. And actually, as the handoff is going, he's already in the backfield. And he just picks and chooses which one he wants to go for and takes Matt Bell down for a loss.
3rd down and 10 coming up after no gain. Trips to the near side. They'll line up a receiver to the far side. Wailai is the setback, and he's going to block. Fires out complete to Faumui, who will have the first down at the 45-yard line. So a college play by Royce Machado on 3rd and 10. He needed 10, got 13 on 3rd down.
And we'll see this pass play by Faumui. Does a good job after the catching the pass to just pick up the first down. As we see good coverage right there by one of the running backs, and Faumui just takes the ball, gets away from a defender, and just tries and pushes it upfield for the first down.
5.5 and counting. 1st and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line of Farrington. Matt Bell is the deep back. Justin Wailai is the up back. They'll give it to Wailai on the short carry. Wailai trying to bounce outside, but he'll only get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 10, but the clock being the enemy so far right now for Kahuku. We've got 5 minutes and counting, and you see the timeout situation on the screen there, courtesy of Oceanic Cable, as you see the time, precious time, tick away.
Farrington doing a very good job here and showing a lot of poise on both ends of the ball and really trying to stick it to the defending state champions.
2nd and 10. Matt Bell is the deep back. Double wides in the formation. Machado back. Looking. Fires. Has it out to Nomo Aea. Trying to break out of a tackle, but Viliami Nauahi and a teammate, Sam Spurrier, slam Nomo Aea out of bounds. The Farrington contingent would like a personal foul. They're not going to get it, though.
We'll get our second look courtesy of Mountain Dew. It's just a short little swing pass out to the outside to Nomaea. But Kahuku's number 5, Sam Spurrier, doing a good job of staying home and reading it and not giving them any kind of room.
Interestingly enough, the officials say that forward progress by Deontay Nomo Aea had stopped, so the clock continues to tick. That was a 2-yard gain by Deontay Nomo Aea. The clock is now at under 4 minutes and counting. 3rd and 8. I formation set. Matt Bell is the deep back. He'll give it to Bell. Bell looking for a hole, can't find anything as he gets walled up near midfield. And that looked like Ola Kubota as well as Sione Olivao with the stop on Matt Bell. Ball is just shy of midfield, bringing up 4th and 5. And now if you're Randall Okimoto and Elroy Chong, you got to think about what you're going to do here.
We'll see the all-sport replay here of the Matt Bell run. And he had 2 holes open for him. He decided to take that other one. But Kahuku was right there to close it up.
Farrington going to let the play clock run all the way down to 1 second, and now we'll call a timeout. 3 minutes, 5 seconds remaining here in this game. Farrington right now with a stunning 1-point lead over Kahuku, 21-20, but a 4th and 5 situation facing the Governors. If they can get a first down here, boy, what an upset that would be. Although you see quarterback Royce Machado down on the sidelines, and apparently Governors may decide to kick this one away and play a little bit more conservative, perhaps, not taking a chance of giving good field position to Kahuku. Coming up this Saturday, Hawaii, San Jose State. A Hawaii win will lock up a bowl bid in the Conagra Foods Hawaii Bowl for the Warriors. And how about the big victory a week ago tomorrow in Fresno, hostile territory, in Fresno State, beating the Bulldogs up there. People still talking about it.
You got to really like that victory up there for UH. It really, really sets a benchmark for this program and really tells you that it is headed in the right direction now.
June Jones apparently had a screwdriver thrown in his direction in the closing minutes of that game. And today, the athletics director, Scott Johnson for Fresno State, issued a public apology to June Jones.
But none coming from the man across from him, Pat Hill,
the head coach. So Randall Okimoto has made up his mind. They're going to simply kick it away and try to pin Farrington, or rather pin Kahuku deep in their own territory. Matt Bell to kick it away. Kyle Giuliano, as well as, I believe that's Spencer Hafoka back deep. A high kick. And it's going to come down at the 35-yard line. A fair catch called by Spencer Hafoka at the 30-yard line. 2 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in this game. Kahuku with the football, 70 yards away from pulling out the win and advancing to the state tournament for the 4th straight year. On the other side, what about the Govs? Can they hold on? Can their defense rise up to the occasion again tonight and make their first ever trip to the state tournament? We'll find out in the next 3 minutes or so. Vaiomui with the give. Big hole. He's at the 45, the 50, at midfield, down to the 45. Great run by Paeo Vaiomui, who's finally brought down in Governor territory at the 42-yard line. A 28-yard run for Paeo Vaiomui.
You gotta like this. You'll see big number 92 right there opening the hole for him, and Vaiomui doing the rest. So he breaks one tackle right there, then takes on 2 Governors, picking up the big gain.
That run changes a lot in this situation. Vaiomui again, big hole, 35, 30, dragging a tackler with them down to the 25-yard line. Another first down for the Kahuku Red Raiders.
And you can really tell that these are the defending state champs. They're not showing any kind of panic here. So we're going to see the Vaiomui run. Going back to their bread and butter. Right up the middle is Vaiomui. And he just has a big hole right there for a good gain.
2 carries by Paeo Vaiomui. Moves the ball from the 30-yard line all the way to the 25-yard line of Farrington.
And
those 2 carries picking up 10, 20, 30, 45 yards total. And that forces Farrington, because they're reeling right now, to burn a timeout.
And you can really hear the momentum shifting back to our side, to the Kahuku sidelines, with those 2 runs. And really puts a little bit of a doubt in Farrington if they can stop this Kahuku running attack.
A lot of time remains in this game, 2:37. So just a little while ago, it looked like that with under 3 minutes left, Kahuku was in a world of hurt. And all of a sudden, 2 long runs by Paea Vaimo'ui has led them down to the 25-yard line with just over 2.5 minutes left to play. Again, Kahuku will tighten up the formation. Vaika Carvalho under center. Paea Vaimo'ui with the give, and this time he is met, but still dragging Tino Uli across the line of scrimmage to the 20-yard line. And you can see Uli just shake his head saying, what do we have to do to stop this guy?
And we'll see it here, Fono Moana, the big block right there, and you just see the big push by the offensive line, just manhandling this defensive front by Farrington.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. The Kahuku sideline has come alive once again. Vaimo'ui in the backfield. They'll give it to him again. Straight up the gut. He'll be shy of the marker by about a yard before he is walled up by 3 Farrington Governor defenders.
And you can really tell the power of this running attack when they have 8 guys on the box and they really cannot slow down the Vaimo'ui.
1 minute, 37 seconds and counting. This is a Farrington defense which has stood tough, but all of a sudden has been pounded on here in the late stages of the 4th quarter. 3rd and 2 coming up. Vaimo'ui again with the carry. Big hole off left side. Almost breaks a tackle, falls forward to the 11-yard line. First down for the Kahuku Raiders at the 12-yard line before Jerome Crisostomo finally had to make the stop, but not before he kind of paid the price.
We'll see this replay here of the run. Vaimo'ui sees a hole to that outside right there, just blasts J.L. Calls. He pounds his way up for a few more yards.
And if you're wondering, the field goal kicker is Malo Keama. 1st and 10 at the 12. The give is to Giuliano around the right side, but he gets stuffed. So instead of Vaimo'ui, they put in the speed back, Kyle Giuliano, and he gets met by 3 Farrington Governors, including Jeffrey Chinonga. The clock continues to tick. 50 seconds, 49 seconds, 48 seconds.
And we'll see the run by Giuliano. He's more of the outside guys. He tries to take it outside, but the Governors having nothing of it. Just shutting the door on it. Fair guy making the stop for the Governors.
Kahuku has to be careful. They do have a timeout left. The give is to Vaimo'ui. He gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage behind the backfield at the 16. The clock continues to tick, and now a time. No, they've got a fumble. Vaimo'ui fumbled. Farrington apparently has recovered.
That ball came right out. Vaimo'ui got hit right on the play. That ball came out loose.
Jay O'Call apparently made the recovery. What a turn of events here in the 4th quarter. Kahuku, the 2-time defending state champion, will not make it 3 in a row.
But we have a penalty flag on the field, and we're going to take a look at that replay of Vaimo'ui's run.
Unsportsmanlike on the defense.
Paulo Feangai with the strip on Paea Vaimo'ui. Oh my.
Man, what a defensive stand by the Farrington Governors.
25 seconds left. No more, I believe Kahuku has a timeout left. Another penalty marker is thrown. It's way in the Kahuku secondary. As you saw, the flag was whistled unsportsmanlike against the Red Raiders.
Quarter snap, illegal substitution on red.
12 men on the field against Kahuku, which had the momentum. They drove down the field in such bulldozer fashion, and a stunning conclusion to this game, resulting in a fumble, which was recovered by Jay O'Call. But the hero tonight for Farrington, Paulo Feangai, with the strip of Kahuku running back Paea Vaimo'ui. And for the first time in the school's history, Farrington going to the state tournament instead of the 2-time defending state champions, Kahuku Red Raiders.
And I knew that this was a game that all year long, Kahuku was vulnerable. If a good offensive passing attack or offense come out here and move the ball down the field on this defense, the offense is really suspect. And if the defense for the other team could step it up, they really could come off with an upset, as we're seeing here.
Turnovers have hurt Kahuku most of the night, and now Royce Machado will simply fall on the football. Some extracurricular activity happening. Kahuku will expend its final timeout. There's Jay Okal. Okal, who recovered the fumble of Paea Vaimaui to seal the game for the Farrington Governors, who will pull off today one of the biggest upsets this season in OIA football.
You really got to like the job that first-year head coach Randall Okimoto did here. He took a team that was really struggling last year, brought them back to a 4-4 record, and now a berth into the state tournament.
And just a shocked look at Shiwaki Levi. He cannot believe what he's seeing. And there's Randall Okimoto, who already received his Gatorade bath. But what a turn of events. What a shocking conclusion to this OIA quarterfinal game.
And that last play really showed the heart of this Farrington Governors. They were getting battered by Vaimui up the middle. Big runs by the running back. And just on that last one, they got their revenge with a very big defensive play, stripping the ball away from him.
Machado will take one more snap as we see players jumping over the line. And that is going to do it. Kahuku cannot stop the clock. 10 seconds left. A jubilant Farrington crowd counting down to victory. And the dynasty, which was the Kahuku Red Raiders, that dynasty has come to an end. We will have a new state champion in 2002.
You gotta love it, man. This is a great start of this quarterfinal action as we see Feagai's parents or family up there. What a great start to this quarterfinal action. That's the money games, giving them the berths into the state tournament.
Feagai, you saw the sign say Feagai up there. He was the guy who came away with the game-ending strip of the football. The Farrington fans are going crazy. They're going to go back to Kalihi Valley very, very happy. A berth in the state tournament. They'll advance to next week's OIA semifinals right here at Aloha Stadium. They'll take on the winner of our next game coming up, Campbell versus Castle. But a stunning end to one of the wildest games we have ever seen. And again, Kahuku hurt with the turnover. The first two the first two touchdowns that was scored by Farrington came with Kahuku turnovers.
And we'll see that last play right there, and they just stood him up, and right there, he wasn't paying attention, had the ball loose. Feagai came in and made the best of the opportunity, knocking the ball away.
The Kahuku Red Raiders will not defend their state championship. And now this opens the door for just about anybody, not only in the OIA, but for the state tournament as well. It's been an exciting game, folks. We want to thank everyone who has been involved in our broadcast. Big Al, or Count Chocula El Morikami with his get-up and garb and so forth, for doing our first half color commentary, and our second half floor director. Want to thank the directors and all of our Jumbotron staff and crew. For Lawson Kita, I'm Kevin Oshiro saying good night from Aloha Stadium. Once again, the final score, the Farrington Governors advance to the semifinals of the state tournament, 21-20 over Kahuku. So long from Aloha Stadium. Aloha, everyone.